Hi guys!
Hey everyone!
Welcome to Make 2 and another episode of Cities Skylines. Here we are in my town again. It's a big town. The next milestone is if we reach a population of 7,000, and we'll then unlock new zones and a metro station, university, incineration plant. Kinda need an incineration plant because, as you will see, I've got trash collection problems all over. Look.
Yeah.
Garbage has piled up, it says.
So there's a couple of reasons why you might be having garbage piled up. Traffic is not going to be a problem because your traffic looks pretty good, though everyone's static right now. Yeah, the thing is you're emptying out one of your landfills into the other landfill.
Yeah,
which is not the right thing to be doing because then, then both of your landfills are just busy moving trash from one trash pile to the other.
Right, so
not collecting new trash.
I'm gonna place a new landfill.
Okay.
I think you told me that in your town, before you unlocked incinerators, you had 3 landfills going, right?
Maybe, I can't remember.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know.
Let's say I did.
Let's say that 3 landfills is gonna take care of the problem.
And incineration is definitely the way of the future. I think it also generates some electricity.
Generates? Oh, that's nice.
So.
Cool.
I think so. And then I decided I didn't like my landfills being right in the middle of my town, so when I expanded, I moved the landfill. I made a new landfill somewhere completely different, like over the river.
Yeah.
And then I moved all my trash from the old landfill to the new landfill.
But also, I think you told me you can't even get rid of a landfill unless it's empty.
Exactly. So I had to completely empty it, then I could delete it.
But where does it empty to?
I emptied it to that new landfill that was over the river.
Okay, so you always have to have at least one landfill, basically.
So let's say I made 3 landfills full. I then had to have 3 landfills forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's harsh. I don't know
So
how
I've got to find somewhere way away where nobody cares.
Yeah. Later.
I think,
Later.
yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, here I am busily building new roads, tree-lined roads, which I have not used in my town, even though I unlocked them previously. So I'm just gonna be, you'll see, experimenting in this video with new types of roads. I'm also moving my bus stops around because as I'm expanding my city, I'm realizing that my bus routes are not keeping up with the expansions. So you'll see me doing some of that. But basically, yeah, in our last episode, we took a break from my town to visit yours. Yours is much more developed, much bigger than mine. And maybe it's a little bit of a drag to be back in my dinky little town, but like I said, when we visited yours, the benefit of my town is that you can see it from the beginning if you watch the series from the beginning.
That's definitely true. The other benefit is, like, some people love living in big cities. I grew up living in a really big city. I grew up in and around London in the UK, which is really big, like 10 million people. You grew up somewhere a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nice just to live somewhere a little bit smaller. There's no traffic problems. There's not massive crime waves. It's all just quite pleasant and cheery. So there's nothing wrong at all with a small town. Indeed, why continue to grow it? Maybe just keep it at 5,900 people.
That actually would be kind of interesting, to build a city that was made entirely out of like gravel paths and all it was residential. But the problem is that I guess there are mods maybe to like make your city look more like historical, you know, not a modern city. I wonder if there are mods for that.
There are definitely mods for loads of different buildings. I think you just need to have enough cash. So if you had enough cash to generate all the things you wanted and still have a small population, that would be cool. Or you still want lots of trees and things like that, landscaping and such.
I could get enough cash and then upgrade all of my roads to gravel paths and see how that, you know, makes things, you know, different and interesting with the traffic patterns and buses and all of that stuff. Yeah, here I go with more of the buses. I was gonna say something and I have totally forgotten what I was gonna say, but basically, yeah, I put in a whole new bus line, made that a purple line. I've got 4 now, and they're all servicing different parts of this city, as you can see. I'm adding in more residential stuff to keep up with demand. I'm trying to get to 7,000, that milestone. Oh, here I am noticing that I have 3 high schools, 2 of which are like literally right next to each other.
Wow. Yep. One of those should have been an elementary school, maybe?
Maybe.
Put in the wrong one?
Because I was getting these notifications and businesses that they didn't have enough educated workers, and I think I forgot that I put a high school, you know, in one place before putting the 3rd one in. So what I'm going to do now is build out this side of this roundabout and maybe add in more residential stuff and also have you know, one of those 3 high schools moved over here. So that'll hopefully help with the zoning of high schools and whatnot.
Yeah. And at some point you will need it. You're still making quite a lot of money right now. You're making 2,500 ducats per week. So, yeah, there's no need to get rid of it. You could turn off the high school if you were running out of cash. You could just keep it there and just turn it off so it wasn't sucking up any of your government funds.
Interesting. But have you found, though, when a commercial district says, you know, there aren't enough educated workers, is that to do with high school or elementary school?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because there's also university that you don't have yet. So
it's going to be unlocked at the next milestone.
Yeah, so I guess people, like, what level of educated they're looking for. Also, you've got a high school, but it doesn't mean that people have graduated from high school yet.
Yeah, like you were telling me that they need like 4 years to officially get through high school probably in the game. And
I don't know about that, I guess.
I think you had told me in a previous episode where I was complaining, I was like, I've got all these high schools, and you're like, oh, they have to graduate.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's actually 4 years in-game. I'm not sure. Someone did do, I think it was Kotaku, maybe they did, or somewhere else I was reading, they did an experiment where they just had a town with one household. And they followed that household around until everybody died.
Wait.
I think it was comparing City Skylines with Sims, whatever the latest Sim City was, yeah.
But how does that work? Wouldn't there be like massive demand for, like, what was the balance of just the one household versus all the other zones?
It was like quite a funny little story, like the household, like they'd all go home to the same house every day.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, one of them moved out and got married, like the kids grew up and got married. And then eventually I think they were just the parents left in the house. And one like hung around the park and another one hung around the graveyard. And I think it ended with one of them like basically climbed into a coffin while still alive and got taken to the crematorium.
Oh my gosh.
It was weird.
I'll just check that out.
I have to try and find it. It was an article, not a video, but it was pretty cool.
So as you can see, I am having water supply issues. So I'm going to put in another water pumping station. And I think I was consulting you at the time I was doing this, and you said, yeah, I could just put it right next to that one that's already in existence. And
I've just got a bank of them next to each other. And the key thing is look at the top left and you can see what your needs are. You want arrows to be over to the right of those little indicators.
Yeah.
And obviously your water is not so hot.
Sewage is also not so hot, so I'm going to put another sewage pumper station in and pollute even more of the river. And now it looks like I don't need these power lines, so I'm just going to delete them. I have plans for this riverfront area here. I want to have, I don't know, like
lots of raw sewage being pumped into it.
No, between the
the
water,
freshwater intake and
the
grey
sewage.
water
it's
outtake.
all clean, as you can see. Yeah. Grey water.
I picked that up from It, didn't I? I did.
Yes, the movie
the
It,
new
the
movie
book
It.
Yeah.
They talk about grey water in the book?
Yes, definitely. That's how I learned what the term was.
Yeah. I've learned about sewage from 2 things, It and The Third Man.
So I'm putting in this road here, and that is where I'm going to put my high school, or I'm going to move my high school.
Okay.
As learned in a previous episode, rather than deleting the high school entirely, it's cheaper to just move it. So that is what I'm going to do. Meanwhile, just need to sort out my power and all that stuff. And so,
your sewage doesn't have any power right now, so you better get building pretty quickly.
Exactly. So the high school has been moved. It needs plumbing. And as things build up, hopefully the power will connect up as well.
The other thing I'm not sure about with schools is how far people are willing to commute to go to a school. They're willing to commute a long way for jobs, but for a school, certainly for an elementary school, I feel that has to be a neighborhood thing.
I thought
for
that
high
was
school. I'm not
There's
really
the
sure.
grey water, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought that was the point of the zones, like the fact that these schools
they
have
only
zones.
cover certain. That's true.
I don't know if it's like a willingness to commute or just, obviously it's the game putting limitations on, but
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about planning out my ideal little Stepford wife ideal neighborhoods with the perfect amount of people to one school in one little district. Like
but the elementary schools have different zones than the high schools. Like they have a smaller zone than the high schools.
Yeah, it makes sense because little kids can't walk as far.
Well, yeah, and also because you want like a bigger high school is fine, but elementary schools, I guess, are kept smaller and cozier.
Yeah, although I remember the last elementary school I went to, or I guess middle school's different in the UK, it was like a 20-minute drive from my house because it was, I don't know, other people in the neighbourhood went there and we did like car sharing stuff, carpooled. But it took a long time to get there rather than the one that was around the corner.
Well, see, that's the thing. You live in an urban area, and I guess people are more willing to travel farther for the right kind of school for you.
I guess.
Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, putting in more roads to keep up with this heavy residential demand. Because if you see, I'm like losing residents in the bottom there. The indicators, I'm losing like 30 to 40, 60, oh my gosh, 70, 90, wow. Yeah, and the whole thing is that I'm trying to get up to 7,000 and I'm like losing 3 digits. It's crazy.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
We spoke about this, I think, for my episode as well, seeing my little town. I have no idea why it happens, particularly when you've got high demand for stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it must just be there was... I don't know why for you.
Well, I do lose houses when I build roads, obviously. Like some of the houses get torn down. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what it is either. I'm doing my best to keep people happy. I'm going to try and find a place to put a park. Maybe that will help. So
Yeah, I heard that parks and also these landmark big buildings, the things you unlock,
I don't have
they
those
can
yet.
help.
Yeah, so I've just placed this park here. It's nice
That's
looking.
cool. Yeah, that fits in really well.
It's also really near the commercial district on that side. I'm just going to pretend that people are able to walk from the commercial district there. I think you'll see me later in the episode playing with trying to build more gravel paths like I did with that other park.
Pedestrian walkways.
Yeah, but I think you need a little more room than I actually have for a gravel path. So anyway, I'm districting now because I would try to keep track of all the new stuff that I've built. Like a lot of this has been built out just in this episode and I want to keep track of it. So now I'm basically, looking for something to do. I'm gonna, upgrade some roads. Tree-lined roads. Why not? Oh, no, maybe not. I'm gonna check out new buildings. Whatever. Yes, go on.
I was going to say, you haven't actually added much more to your industrial in a long time. That seems to be ticking along pretty well despite people wanting jobs and stuff. I think that's probably the right thing to do because once you unlock offices, certainly for me, I just switched out from industry to offices because it's cleaner and easier to build, like right next to houses.
Yeah.
So makes zoning a lot simpler.
So you basically don't have much industry in your city then?
Not like that kind of high polluting industry. It's still called industry, but it's offices. I know that with industry you can also do raw material supply, like, oil. What's not oil farming? You can either have farming or you can go searching for oil and have oil derricks in your town. Oil drilling. So you can actually have primary products produced in your little town. I didn't have that at all.
But that sounds like noisy and full of pollution as well.
Yeah, but it's a way of making sure you actually have guaranteed export income, whereas our towns don't. My town at least doesn't export anything, has to import all its raw materials.
You export brain power.
Yeah, I guess all the, great creations.
Yeah, so that was me trying to build the gravel path and there not being enough room for it. So I don't know. I would love to have more gravel paths in my town, but if there isn't room...
Yeah, I just think to an extent you've got to have, like, this first tile is you growing up your city.
Yeah.
And it's going to look okay, it's going to look a bit of a mess, but by the time you get to your second tile, you'll hopefully have enough money because your money's still steadily going up.
Yeah.
But then you can be a bit more free and just say, I'm going to design this how I want. I'm not constrained by cash or ridiculous things. And you can put in all the gravel paths you want.
I don't know where the next tile should be. I'm sure you have some thoughts based on your experience. Oh, I just placed another elementary school. No, wait, that was a dog park.
That's a
dog park. Yeah. I think I will place another elementary school in the video though. So, as far as like where to extend the map out to, I don't know where that ideal place would be. I mean, if I went south of the sewage, I would have to move the sewage, wouldn't I?
Well, no, it depends whether you wanted to do stuff on the...
Like industrial?
On the side of the river though.
I do.
Yeah.
Why not? Riverfront property is nice.
I picked my second one to be the other side of the river. I don't know if that was the right call because then I had to suddenly start spending tons of money getting across the river.
Right.
And then that causes traffic problems.
Bridge would be cool. You got bridges.
I have a couple of bridges, but it is a little bit expensive. So I don't know. maybe this one just down south right here.
Oh, I have already placed the elementary school. There it is, right next to the high school. So
Cool.
yeah, I've now got 3 high schools and 2 elementary schools only.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna need to place another elementary school.
Yeah,
And I think I want to put it.
schools.
I'm gonna put it right across from the high school, right there in the middle. So that seems like, yeah, just keeping my high schools and my elementary schools together, just for
Whoa, everyone
aesthetics.
got happy.
Yes. Yay, educated children, literate children.
Although I'm sure there are also people who have gone for non-educated towns. Apparently they have, I think I read this, they have more children, a non-educated family, so then you can generate, maybe your population grows a little bit faster.
What?
And you have more factory workers. I don't know. It might just be an old wives' tale for the people who play City Skylines.
An old wives' tale. Nice. Okay, so here I am building out more commercial stuff. I'm doing tree-lined roads just because I think that looks pretty.
Yeah, and this is your one area that was just completely empty in the middle of your town.
Oh,
and now
there we
you're going
go.
for it.
Miss zoning, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, am I? No, yeah, I was not commercial. Sorry, it's going to be residential because I need residential. Yeah.
You need both, though. You need both.
Yeah, well, start with residential. So, yeah, I like the look of these tree-lined roads. I definitely want to go through and, do more of that. I'm not sure if it provides any benefit other than noise pollution help. Do you know if it does anything?
They're more expensive, remember, as well.
Of course, but
They look better.
yeah, obviously, yeah.
Trees are good.
And
I want you to get another tile because I want you just to go nuts and make the ideal neighborhood of your dreams without constraint.
But I still want to, focus on this one and get my central business district.
Yeah.
I want to build out that area around the town square. Like, I think I'm holding off on building on it now because I have this idea that I'm going to have, like, office buildings around there and stuff. Yeah. And also because you made me build such a huge town square. Like, I literally don't know what to do with it. So, yeah.
You could put, like, a Japanese garden on every side. And then fill it with trees. I think, did we say last time, I think filling with trees works well because it does make an area stand out from the crowd because almost, even if you have pretty roads, end up as just like a whole bunch of buildings. Whereas to make a large area look different, you've got to put something different there. So maybe tons of trees. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I got smiley faces from upgrading these roads.
Oh, cool. I didn't see the smiley
trees
faces.
in the middle. Yeah, I like the look of that too. It's nice. And so I'm doing that in the roundabout as well, trees in the middle. Maybe not the most practical thing to do in a roundabout since you kind of have to see what people are doing on either side of you.
But how do you switch lanes?
Exactly.
You might be changing that in the future.
I might change it in the future.
Your traffic problems are pretty good.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well. I have
You're gonna put another fire station
I
down?
want to wait until I unlock or have enough money for one of the bigger fire stations, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Because you said that a more expensive fire station, the bigger one, is at least more efficient or like covers more area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I think I now mainly go for small ones just because.
Because you have got that modular.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit. I don't know. In my head, I think it's a bit easier to manage as your town gets a little bit bigger. But your population has been slowly creeping up.
I know, I'm so close to 7,000 now, guys. I'm really, I just want to get to another milestone because I feel like at this point, well, I don't know. I feel like this every time I'm close to a milestone. I feel like this town is kind of using the same things over and over again, and I just can't wait to get to the next thing where I can start using new stuff and making the town look different and feel different,
That's cool. I think you've definitely done well in utilising all the things available. Like, I didn't even notice I had tree-lined roads for way past, when they were unlocked. So I think it's really cool to have your town at each point reflecting what got unlocked at that stage.
Well, I'm pleased that I put in more parks in this particular playing session because I had only one park, I think, that in the Japanese garden there in the square, but I hadn't explored many of the other parks, and it's nice to have a dog park. It's nice to have that thing, I'm pointing at it. What is it? Yeah. With all the paths and things like that. Path park.
Come on, people, move in.
Yeah, I know. Move in, guys.
It's
you're
such
so
a lovely
close.
place to live.
Oh, no. It's gone down again. It was. Oh my god. See, I literally have no idea what causes that.
There's not that much sewage. There's lots of lovely parks. There's lots of trees.
Yeah.
Very little traffic problems. Crime rates seem to be okay. Could be better. But hey, land is cheap.
Very cheap. I think that, yeah, that riverfront, I'm definitely looking forward to.
Oh, you want to have the whole riverfront thing?
Well, I definitely want like a road following along the river bank, and it'll be like a car commercial kind of road. You know those roads where the car just like
and you
is
can
on
do
this
some
big,
landscaping.
empty, twisty. I did it!
Congratulations! Quite high five because of the microphone.
Yay! Okay.
Wow, that unlocks a ton of stuff.
Exactly, office zone and all that. You know. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do too much big town stuff in this video because it's already long enough, but I will place a couple of new things and we'll save more of the big town stuff for next episode. But oh look, just in time, I've got a fire. A fire.
Poor little tykes. It looks like a chilies to me.
Oh, it's a big one. It's a big fire.
Wow, I think that was a fryer fire.
Fryer fire. Ooh, yakisoba, tasty noodles, nice. Soba noodles, that was what I was thinking of earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the
sorry.
ones in the cupboard.
Yes.
Yeah, they're called okay.
Anyway, sorry, we were talking about shopping. I could not remember the name of the noodles that I had at home. Soba noodles. Anyway, so I think that this building that just caught on fire is a perfect place to put my new expensive fire station.
Okay, just on the ashes.
Just right there on the corner.
On the ashes of chilies. Bye, chilies.
Bye. It looked like a Pizza Hut, maybe.
I don't know.
Wow, this is expensive. $60,000, and I really hope all that happiness spreads
you
a
had
long
tons
way.
Of money. Yeah.
Because every time you hit a milestone, you get a big bonus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow, that's massive. That is the biggest fire station I think I've ever seen.
Like in real life as well. I don't think I've ever seen one bigger than that.
Exactly. Okay, so hopefully they're cool. I think next I'd like to address some of the landfill and incinerator type of stuff. I need to build out some more plumbing for these guys out here in the boonies next to the riverfront. But yeah, I think we're kind of coming toward an end. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of City Skylines where we built out more and more stuff, and I went for tree-lined roads wherever I could and moved schools around and made a new fire station. Yeah, stuff has happened.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next one where I hope we're going to get to see you get to another milestone. Maybe you're going to buy, I don't think probably the next one, you're going to hold off, I think, in a while until you expand your town to another tile. So we'll have that to look forward to in a future episode as well.
Yep. So in the meantime, guys, if you are new to our channel, feel free to subscribe because we've got plenty more City Skylines on the way.
Thanks for watching.